$129 million.
My 3 kids were born with birth defects. My wife's had cancer.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurin Afika binti Syamsuddin.
Hello, my name is Nurin Nabila.
Hello, I am Akila. Have you ever imagined living in a nice neighborhood only to find out your house is built on top of toxic chemical waste? That exactly happened at Canal, a small community in Niagara Falls, New York. What started as a normal place to live turned into one of the most environmental disasters in US history. In 1892, William Taylor proposed to connecting the upper and the lower Niagara River by digging a 6-mile canal to provide cheap hydroelectric power to the area. However, only a mile of the trench was dug, and the project was abandoned due to lack of funding. The canal then sold to Hooker Chemical Corporation to become a landfill for waste use. From 1942 to 1953, the canal was filled with over 21,000 tons of chemical waste, including caustic solvent and pesticide by Hooker's Chemical Company. Then, in 1953, they sealed the landfill clay cap to contain the chemical waste and sold the land to Niagara Board of Education for $1. The agreement contained warning that said it is potentially dangerous to build on a dump site and they are not responsible for any damage that might arise. Despite Hooker's warning of the potential toxic nature of the practice, the city proceeded to build an elementary school on the newly acquired land. Soon, the construction began. The development of the land caused crack to the clear barrier beneath that was built to protect any chemical leak. This caused some issues during construction such as fume and leakage, but the city didn't concern. The school opened in 1955 and 400 children attended school. Later that year, residents began to complain of strange chemical odors, minor explosion and black sludge slipping their yard and basement. Children who play outside would return home with minor chemical burn on their feet and legs.
Even one drop of waste will ruin the result in filtration. How about a large quantity of chemical will affect environment or more specifically our health? Love Canal disaster have been the catalyst in increased rate of cancer. According to Health Department in New York, this cancer were linked to exposure to hazardous chemicals such as 1,2,4-trichlorobenzene, which had seeped into the soil and groundwater from the buried chemical waste. Benzene attacks cells and weakens immune defense in our body. Next, birth defects were another alarming outcome. Between 1974 to 1978, more than 56% of babies born in the area had some form of defect, from heart abnormalities to limb deformities. Women living near chemical hotspots also experienced significantly more miscarriage and stillbirth. People of all ages suffer from frequent headache, asthma, and liver or kidney damage. This has problems because of being exposed to over 80 toxic substances, including polychlorinated biphenyls, toluene, and trichloroethylene, which were all found in the local environment. Perhaps most disturbing was the evidence of genetic damage. Blood samples from Love Canal residents show chromosome breaks and mutation that have potential long-term harm that could be passed down to the future generation.
There is some way to prevent chemical disaster. For the first one, use a proper treatment method to manage chemical hazards. Hazardous waste can be treated by chemical, thermal, biological, and physical methods. One method used to treat hazardous waste biologically is called land farming. In this technique, the waste is carefully mixed with surface soil on a suitable tract of land. Microbes that can metabolize the waste may be added along with nutrients. The next one is strong environmental law. How it works? By enforcing regulations, accountability, and safe waste management practices. Environmental law can prevent Love Canal type disaster by making polluters accountable. For example, Law in Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation and Liability Act, which is hold polluters like Hooker Chemical Company in Love Canal legally and financially responsible for cleanup and damage. For the last one is scientific research. It helps to identify risks before they become harmful. Before building on or near any site, environmental engineers and geologists should analyze soil and groundwater to detect toxic substances or leaks. After a site is used for waste disposal, scientists can install regular soil sampling to check for surface contamination and monitoring wells to track groundwater quality.